Solomon warned us, never trust a woman who does these 5 things. Brothers and sisters, today I come to you not with my own words, but with the wisdom of the wisest man who ever lived, King Solomon, a man who had it all, wealth beyond imagination, power that stretched across nations, women, more than 1,000. And yet, despite his wisdom, despite the divine gift God placed upon him, even Solomon fell. Fell into what? Into the very trap he himself warned us about. You see, Solomon's downfall did not come from war, nor from poverty, nor from the enemies outside his kingdom. No, it came from within. It came from the women he chose to trust. Now let me be clear. This is not about condemning women. The Bible is filled with righteous women, Esther, Ruth, Mary, Deborah, women of strength, virtue, and godliness. A good woman is a gift from God. But just as there are virtuous women, there are also those who bring destruction. Women who deceive. Women who manipulate. Women who lead even the strongest of men away from their purpose. And Solomon, despite his wisdom, fell into their grasp. But here's the good news. You don't have to. God, through Solomon, gave us warnings, clear signs, red flags, about the kind of woman a man should never trust. Warnings that are just as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. So listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you could save you from heartbreak, from regret, from the kind of pain that Solomon himself experienced. If you want a future blessed by God, if you want a relationship built on love, truth, and righteousness, then you must never trust a woman who does these 5 things. Let's begin. A woman who lures you away from God. Brothers and sisters, the first and most dangerous warning Solomon gives us is this: never trust a woman who pulls you away from God. This is not just advice. It is a spiritual battle. A battle for your soul, for your destiny, and for the life God has planned for you. Let me remind you of Samson and Delilah. Samson was not an ordinary man. He was chosen by God from birth. He had supernatural strength, a divine calling. But what happened? He fell in love with a woman who did not love God, a woman whose heart was set on destruction. Delilah did not care for Samson's soul. She only cared for what she could gain from him. She whispered sweet words. She made him feel loved. She made him trust her. And what did she do? She sold him. She betrayed him. She cut off the very source of his strength. Brothers, when you are with a woman who does not love God, do not be fooled by her beauty, by her words, by her affection. Because the moment you trust her more than you trust God, you are already lost. Solomon himself is the ultimate warning. God gave him wisdom greater than any man before or after him. He built the temple of God. He ruled Israel with peace and prosperity. Yet, by the end of his life, what happened? His many wives, women who worshipped false gods, turned his heart away. 1 Kings 11:4 says, "For when Solomon was old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father." Think about that. Solomon, wise, powerful, chosen, allowed the wrong women to lead him away from God. And if it could happen to Solomon, it can happen to you. I have seen men strong in faith, men with good hearts, who started compromising because of a woman. They stopped praying. They stopped going to church. They made excuses for her lack of faith. Oh, she's not a believer, but she's a good person. Listen to me, a good person is not enough. A woman who does not honor God will never honor you in the way a godly woman would. Ask yourself this: does she encourage you in your faith? Does she inspire you to be a better man in the eyes of God? Or does she make you feel like your faith is less important? If a woman's love makes you love God less, it is not love. It is a trap. 2. A woman who manipulates with her words. The second warning Solomon gives us is this: never trust a woman who manipulates with her words. Words are powerful. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue. A godly woman speaks life into a man. She encourages, she uplifts, she brings peace with her words. But a manipulative woman, she speaks death. She twists words, plays mind games, makes you question yourself. There is no greater example of this than Jezebel. Jezebel was the wife of King Ahab, and she was a master of manipulation. She used her words to control, to deceive, and to destroy. When Ahab wanted Naboth's vineyard but could not get it, Jezebel told him, "Are you the king of Israel or not?" She mocked his weakness, belittled him, and then, without hesitation, she arranged Naboth's murder to give Ahab what he wanted. This is the danger of a manipulative woman. She knows how to control a man, not through strength, but through subtle, deceptive words. She will make you feel guilty when you have done nothing wrong. She will make you doubt yourself, even when you know the truth. She will promise love, but only if you do what she wants. A manipulative woman does not build a man up. She weakens him. She makes him dependent on her approval instead of God's approval. I have counseled men who were trapped in relationships where they felt like they were always wrong. Every argument, every decision, every mistake, it was always their fault. Why? Because their partner twisted the truth, made them question themselves. Let me tell you something. Love does not manipulate. A woman who loves you will tell you the truth, even when it's hard. She will correct you with kindness, not with deception. The Bible says in Proverbs 31:26, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. A godly woman's words bring clarity, not confusion. Peace, not chaos. So if you find yourself constantly defending yourself, always feeling guilty, always unsure of what is true, be careful. This is not love. This is control. Here's the truth, brothers. A woman who manipulates today will not change tomorrow. If she controls you with her words now, she will control your marriage, your family, your entire future. Never trust a woman whose words are designed to trap you instead of bless you. Third, a woman who lacks humility. Brothers and sisters, the third warning Solomon gives us is this: never trust a woman who lacks humility. Pride is a silent killer. It destroys relationships. It poisons love. It blinds people from the truth. And a prideful woman, one who refuses correction, who refuses to acknowledge her faults, who believes she is always right, will make your life a battlefield, not a blessing. Let me take you to the story of Queen Vashti. In Esther 1:10-12, King Ahasuerus called for his queen to come before him, to honor her beauty before the people. But what did she do? She refused. She disrespected the king publicly, showing no humility, no honor, no willingness to listen. Now I am not saying that a woman must blindly obey a man. No, that is not the message here. The issue with Vashti was not that she said no to the king. It was why she did. It was pride. She thought she was above her husband. She thought she could do as she pleased without consequences. And what happened? She was removed from her position, and Esther, a woman of wisdom and humility, was chosen in her place. Humility is what makes a woman great in the eyes of God. Think of Ruth, who humbly followed Naomi even in hardship. Think of Mary, the mother of Jesus, who said, "Let it be to me according to your word." Think of Abigail, whose humility saved her household from destruction. Now let me ask you, What kind of woman do you want by your side? A woman who refuses to admit when she is wrong. A woman who argues over everything, who demands respect but never gives it. A woman who sees herself as superior to others? Let me tell you, pride does not disappear with time. It grows. A woman who lacks humility today will lack humility in your marriage, in your home, in raising your children. Proverbs 16:18 warns us, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Brothers, do not be fooled by beauty, by charm, by words. If she cannot humble herself before God, she will never humble herself before you. And without humility, there is no love, only war. Seek a woman who listens, who forgives, who is willing to grow, to learn, to admit when she is wrong. A woman who is humble is a woman who brings peace into your life. I4. A woman who loves material wealth more than righteousness. The fourth warning Solomon gives us is this: never trust a woman who loves wealth more than righteousness. Brothers, we live in a time where money, status, and luxury are seen as the ultimate goals. But let me remind you, riches fade, beauty fades, fame fades. The only thing that lasts is the heart. Solomon knew this well. He had everything: gold, silver, palaces, chariots, servants. But what did he say in Ecclesiastes 5:10? Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This, too, is meaningless. A woman who chases wealth is never satisfied. You will never be enough for her. Let me tell you a story I once heard. There was a man who married a woman because she was beautiful, because she had high standards, because she wanted the best of everything. He thought, if I work hard, if I give her a good life, she will be happy. But no matter how much he provided, it was never enough. A bigger house, a nicer car, more expensive jewelry, more luxury. And when he could no longer keep up, she left him for another man with more money. This is what happens when you trust a woman who loves wealth more than righteousness. Jesus himself warned us in Matthew 6:24, you cannot serve both God and money. If a woman's heart is set on riches, it is not set on God. And if it is not set on God, it will never be set on you. Signs of a woman who loves wealth more than righteousness. She judges a man by what he has, not by who he is. She values luxury more than character. She constantly compares her life to others, always wanting more. She is never content with what she has. Brothers, marriage is not about impressing someone with wealth. It is about building a life together in love, faith, and trust. A godly woman will stand with you whether you have much or little. She will love you for your heart, not for your bank account. Proverbs 31:30 tells us, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. A woman who fears the Lord is rich in ways that money can never buy. That is the kind of woman you can trust with your future, your home, your children, and your soul. A woman who thrives on gossip and strife, brothers and sisters. The final warning Solomon gives us is this: never trust a woman who thrives on gossip and strife. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met a person who cannot keep quiet? Someone who is always talking about others, always stirring conflict, always planting seeds of division. A woman who gossips is a woman who destroys, and the Bible warns us of this many times. Proverbs 16:28 says, a perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. Notice the power of those words, separates. A gossiping woman does not unite. She divides. She turns friends into enemies. She breaks apart families. She poisons relationships. This kind of woman is dangerous because her tongue is her weapon. She will speak one thing to your face and another behind your back. She will twist stories to make herself the victim. She will spread lies to make others look bad. And before you know it, you are trapped in a cycle of drama, arguments, and confusion. Jezebel, the woman of strife. Let's return to Jezebel, one of the most dangerous women in the Bible. Jezebel was not just a manipulator, she was a destroyer. She lied. She spread rumors. She created conflict where there was none. When she wanted Naboth's vineyard for King Ahab, what did she do? She falsely accused an innocent man, stirring up a conflict that led to his death. She used deception and gossip to control others, and her actions brought destruction upon her own house. What happened to Jezebel in the end? She was thrown from a window, trampled by horses, and her body was eaten by dogs. Let that sink in. A woman who lives for gossip, for slander, for strife. Her end is never good. Modern-day Jezebels. Today, you may not find a Jezebel ruling a kingdom, but you will find her on social media, posting drama, spreading rumors, tearing people down instead of building them up. You will find her in families, turning siblings against each other. You will find her in churches, creating division among believers. You will find her in relationships, playing mind games, creating conflict, making a man feel like he is always walking on eggshells. Let me tell you this. If a woman enjoys drama, she will bring drama into your life. If she talks badly about others, she will one day talk badly about you. If she spreads lies, she will one day spread lies about you. Do not ignore this red flag. A wise woman knows how to keep her tongue in check. A godly woman speaks life, not destruction. The woman worth trusting, brothers. Proverbs 31:26 describes the kind of woman you should trust. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. A woman like this will bring you peace. She will defend your name, not destroy it. She will protect your reputation, not stain it. If a woman enjoys gossip, she is not a woman to be trusted. But if a woman speaks with wisdom, kindness, and truth, she is a woman worth keeping. Conclusion. The final warning from Solomon, brothers and sisters. We have walked through the wisdom of Solomon. We have seen the dangers he warned us about. And now, as we come to the end of this message, I want to ask you a question. Who do you trust with your heart? Solomon was the wisest man who ever lived, yet he fell, not because of war, not because of poverty, not because of lack of knowledge, but because he trusted the wrong women. He allowed his heart to be led astray by women who pulled him away from God. Women who manipulated him with their words. Women who were filled with pride, refusing humility. Women who loved riches more than righteousness. Women who thrived on gossip and conflict. And because of this, he lost himself. 1 Kings 11:9 tells us, "The Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice." God had spoken to Solomon twice, and still he did not listen. This is the greatest tragedy, not just that Solomon fell, but that he knew better. And now, my brothers, you know better too. A final word of warning. The devil does not always come as an enemy. Sometimes he comes as something beautiful, something tempting, something that feels like love but leads to destruction. Not every woman is a blessing. Some are a test. Some are a trap. Some are sent by the enemy to weaken you, to distract you, to take you away from your purpose. And if you trust the wrong woman, you will pay the price. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But one day, you will wake up and realize you lost your faith, your peace, your identity, your joy. Do not let this happen to you. the kind of woman you can trust. Let me end with hope. Yes, there are women who bring destruction, but there are also women who bring life. Women who are kind, strong, faithful, honest. Women who love God and will love you in a way that brings you closer to Him, not further away. Look for a woman who encourages your faith, a woman who speaks truth, not manipulation. A woman who walks in humility, a woman who values righteousness over wealth, a woman who uses her words to build, not destroy. Proverbs 31:10 says, "A wife of noble character who can find, she is worth far more than rubies. A godly woman is a treasure, and if you find one, cherish her. Honor her, lead her with wisdom. But if you find a woman who shows the signs Solomon warned about, walk away. No matter how beautiful she is, no matter how charming she seems, no matter how much she makes you feel wanted, because no amount of beauty is worth the cost of your soul." A call to action. If this message has opened your eyes, I ask you to do 3 things. Share this wisdom. There is a man you know who needs to hear this. Do not let him fall into the same trap Solomon did. Examine your relationships. If you are with a woman who pulls you away from God, ask yourself, where is this leading? Pray for wisdom. Ask God to guide your heart, to protect you from deception, to lead you to the right woman in the right time. Solomon was the wisest man in history, yet he ignored his own wisdom. Do not make the same mistake. Brothers, be strong, be wise. Be men of God, and may He bless you with a love that brings you closer to Him, not further away. Amen.